It was a really interesting one related to trust, actually. She'd just joined our team, and she received a email from purportedly Joe asking her to go and buy some iTunes vouchers.
Yeah,
and she'd just joined the team, and she's at that unique position where she's vulnerable and wanting to impress her new workplace, impress her new manager. And it's that stage where you'll say yes to anything your boss asks you, because you're getting to know the job and you're getting to know how people work. So she's in this uniquely vulnerable position, and she was halfway to the shop when we stopped her, wasn't she?
Yeah. I was talking to a friend the other day. Now, I believe his website, it was called Replica AI. I think it still exists. And I won't go into super geeky details, but with all these language models, you can train them. As ChatGPT have said, you can now use your own data to train it. And with Replica.ai and others like local models that you can download and play with, if you're geeky enough, you can feed it your data. So let's say my friends have WhatsApp groups with my friends, or there's people that write a lot online. And if you can get enough data from a person of how they write, you can take that data now and you can feed it into a language model, feed it into Replica.ai and the idea, I believe, on Replica.ai was you could create a friend or a loved one that's passed or something like that. And so to take that, what you're just saying there, even further, Chris, is if you can then make the language, there's one thing pretending to be somebody, but if you've got the right language of how that person speaks, how they sign off, obviously you've got to get access to the data, but the people are creative, they'll find ways. You get access to that data of X person or somebody quite senior, the CEO of a company. I'm sure there's a lot of information, how they talk. You can voice to transcribe that. There's all this data. They grab it. They can use it then to create messages and things that are, so we're taking fake domains and then with a fake persona, but with language that sounds like that person. That's terrifying.
You gave an example of AOL, and you had a phishing scam where they used AOL, and you would think, yeah, okay, massive brand, of course they're going to get phished. Whereas someone like AAG, Sabroso, Cyber Alchemy, why would we be targeted? Why would someone try and impersonate Joe at Sabroso? What are they going to get out? But it happens. It clearly happens. I don't mean that in any sort of offensive way, Joe, but you know what I'm saying? People think that, it's just Amazon. It's just the Amazon phishing emails that I get. Everyone gets that your account's your Prime's going to be cancelled or whatever. But yeah, like you say, you get someone in a really vulnerable position, and it doesn't matter whether it's Amazon or whether it's just a small to medium business. It happens on the daily, all the time, and arguably we're more of a target because of that, because there's a lot more vulnerability around that.
Yeah, and when you have a public-facing persona, what we talk about in marketing is be public and make yourself known to people so that you become, it's influencer stuff, right? You want people to know you as a person in your industry, so they come to you with their problems, right? The problem with doing that is you're basically creating that data set that allows someone to then replicate you. So I mean, we're looking at this site now that you just mentioned, little Replica. It's absolutely harrowing to look at. The idea that this could be the testimonials were great. It's I've never had someone this close to me, and I thought I'm no longer lonely, and that's amazing. But the flip side of that is, what data is it being trained on? And I could, like you alluded to, I could copy the WhatsApp chat between me and Chris, and without his permission, I could, recreate my business partner and then fire him, which would be
it's
I think the bit that we see, we look after about 3,500 users across our client base, but we get calls about this kind of stuff every week, every couple of weeks, where there's some type of impersonation that's going on, and you look at the AI tools that are coming forward and how that becomes far more sophisticated. It really does become frightening. But a lot of people just think it doesn't. We're a small business, or we're a mid-sized business. They're not interested in us. They absolutely are. Like I said, we see and have to deal with that kind of firsthand, week in, week out. Now, I suppose